Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah, the last Ask Leah for 5 weeks, because I am off on Monday for 5 weeks with my family on what is being dubbed my Outback book tour. We are heading away in the caravan up to Darwin and back. We are going to have a ball. It's a trip that I've done a couple of times in my life, but my husband and boys never have, and I can't wait to show them some of the parts of Australia that I absolutely love and that I have lived and worked in when I was younger and traveling around the country solo. As a 21-year-old with a tent in the back of the car. So I'm excited to be hitting the road with my family, and I will be taking books with me for a couple of reasons. Some, if I get orders on the way, I'll be posting them off from different places along the way, but I think I'm going to do some guerrilla warfare with books. I think I'll call into bookshops and I'll do some promotion that way. But you know how caravan parks and places where travelers are, they nearly always have book exchanges? I'm actually thinking I can be like a book ninja and just strategically leave Soft is the New Hard in different places around the outback and just see what happens. I might leave some messages in them too, actually. I think it'll be really cool. For those of you who saw my post this morning, really exciting news. Last night, I recorded a podcast episode for the London Leadership Podcast. This was a huge win for me. I got an email from a guy called Fernando a couple of weeks ago. He is the leader of this incredible worldwide charity called Water Well Life, and it supplies water in third world countries, and they do amazing work. And he reached out to me to say he had read my book. Well, actually, he'd listened to it. He'd listened to the audio version on Audible over in the UK. And he said it had transformed his leadership, which was, wow, so incredible to receive that feedback. And he's actually the host of London's Leadership Podcast and he invited me on. So I had a great chat to him last night, and I'll let you know when that's live in a few weeks' time. So it is my last Ask Leah. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied tonight. I have delivered a full-day workshop today in Warragul, Effective Communication, Developing Assertiveness. So if I get tongue-tied, I apologise. I have spoken a lot today. I may, though, do one from the road. We'll see how we go. I'm saying it's my last one for 5 weeks because I don't want to be committed to it while I'm travelling, but you never know. I maybe end up doing an Ask Leah live from Uluru at sunset or something cool like that, or at the Mindil Beach market or something in Darwin. Okay. So, a few different questions and topics for conversation tonight. And again, it's your last chance for 5 weeks. So if you have a question, get it in the comments quickly tonight and we will answer it. So this week, I've already run 2 workshops. I've got 1 more to come. I did today's effective communication one. And on Monday, I did a workshop as part of the Latrobe Valley Authority's Worker Transition Program. With a great group of people who are trying to get back into the workforce. They're not just ex-Hazelwood guys, they're from a whole heap of different industries in the valley who have, been made redundant, or maybe they're just in occasional or casual work. And the workshop that I ran with them was my self-doubt workshop, which is Shut the Hell Up, How to Control That Little Voice. Now, one of the things I speak about in both of those workshops is the importance of knowing your values. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit tonight, because when I ask people, do you know your values? Most people will say, oh yeah, I know what I value. But if I said to you, could you tell me your top 3 core values that are absolutely essential for who you are, that really are core to you and how you live your life, that if nothing else was there for you, if you lived by those 3 things, you would be okay, you would be happy with yourself? And most people can't answer that question unless you've done a values exercise before. Now, you might be thinking, well, what does knowing your values have to do with communication or overcoming self-doubt? The more you know who you are, the more that you truly know who you are and what you stand for. Not what society tells you, not what you're trying to people please, none of that. The more you actually know you, the more confident you get in the decisions you make. It makes decision making a lot easier when you know your values. It helps you to be more assertive. It's really hard to know when to stand up and put forward your thoughts or beliefs if you don't know what you stand for. Okay? So when you are so clear about who you are as a person, it helps give you that courage to speak up. Okay? It also helps give you that courage to overcome the self-doubt, because self-doubt flourishes when we're not really sure about who we are. So someone else's talk in our ear can throw us off course, you know, someone else's put downs or the limiting beliefs that others push onto us. But when we're really clear on who we are, we can stand tall and strong in the face of that. So let me share with you my values tonight, and then I'm going to tell you where you can download my exercise to work on yours yourself. So my values, I have done corporate values or business values, which you've all seen, and they're true for me as an individual as well. But underpinning all of my values, the top three that for me, Leah, whether it's Leah, business, personal, Leah, mum, person in any part of life, what are the three values that underpin who I am? Number one is zest. Zest to me is energy, it's positivity, it's showing up with that enthusiasm for life, you know, loving life and daring to live it. Okay, that to me is zest, and that's who I am. Some people won't like that. Not everyone will like me. Not everyone will like my style, and that's okay, because that's who I am. That's true to me. Now, how does that value help guide the decisions I make and the way I behave? It means if I'm having a bad day, and I do, we all do, I'm not positive all the time, but if I'm having a bad day, I have my values up beside me here on the wall. And if I'm having a bad day, I look at those values and I say, Leah, this is not who you are. This is not who you are. You are the person who values zest more than anything. This is your one life. You've got this, spark back up. It's the energy I bring to my workshops. It's not put on. Okay, this is who I am. I'm a passionate person. Zest is my number one. Number two, perseverance for me. Perseverance, it's that persistence, it's that resilience in the face of challenges. I don't give up. I will do the hard work that most people won't do. I will keep going. I reframe failure. I will try to take the learnings and keep pushing forward. So perseverance is my second value. Now, it helps me in so many ways, and it really helps drive me to get to where I want to go. My third value, my third top core value is mercy. And mercy is an interesting one. People often go, oh, mercy, gee, wasn't expecting that. For me, mercy is kindness, it's forgiveness, it's not holding a grudge, it's being empathetic and compassionate to other people. And to me, that's summed up in the word mercy. And I live by that, by always trying to be kind. And you will have seen a post through the week about the difference between nice and kind. I don't try to be nice, because nice is not kind. Nice stays quiet. Nice doesn't have the difficult conversations. Nice lets conflict grow and flourish. But kind is compassionate, is warm, but sometimes has to have those difficult conversations. So mercy is my third. And those three together, really, they sum up who I am. They are so intrinsically linked. They are core to Leah as a person. You can tell a lot about me by those three values. And those of you who know me quite well, I'm sure will hear those values and go, oh yeah, that's Leah. Okay. So when you get your values and you really nail those top few. And not just with a word that you can explain them and articulate them, they'll just sing to you. Now, when you are not living in alignment with your values, you will know it. You'll feel it in the pit of your stomach. And sometimes if you're not clear on your values, you won't know why something feels out of whack. But it does. You know, you might be in a job that is not in alignment with your values, and you'll just think something's not right here and I'm not sure what it is. And hi, Lizzie in Hong Kong. I bet it's warmer there. You won't know what it is, but often it's that we are not clear on our values. So how can you do this exercise? On my website, which is leahmetha.com.au, if you click on resources, under that, you will find a downloadable and printable values exercise. You will also find there, for those of you who are interested, you'll find a communication style quiz. So if you are interested in trying to work out what your go-to style of communication is, are you passive, passive-aggressive, aggressive or assertive, particularly under pressure, go to the resources page on my website and you can download the quiz that is in my book. So some of you have given me some feedback, which has been awesome, that you've said you've filled out the quiz in the book as you're meant to. You can tick along in the book and you've done that, but then someone's asked to borrow the book and you haven't wanted to lend my book out because you're like, I don't want you to see what I answered. So you can download it and do it on there. It's also great if you're listening to the audiobook. So you can get that for free on the website as well. So I encourage you to check that out. The other thing I wanted to touch on tonight before I say ciao and take off, I do have one more workshop to deliver this week. I'm doing a big one on Saturday morning for about 70 people from the CFA across the Latrobe City region. Earlier this week, I did a post about the importance of being a solution person, okay? So when you're at work, okay, you're at work and there's an issue, there's a problem you've got and you want to raise it with your boss, it's super important to do some thinking before you raise it about, well, what's a possible solution or an option or alternative, so that when you go to the boss, you're not just saying, oh, this is my problem, and dumping it on your boss's lap to sort out. Because if you're a leader and you've got lots of staff that do this, it gets really frustrating. You're time poor anyway, and you'll often see leaders get quite snappy at this, and then they feel like it's all on them. So I did a post about the importance of doing the thinking about solutions first, so that then you can go to your leader and maybe say, you know, look, we've got this issue, but here's what I think we could do to address it. Are you happy for me to do that? Now, the great thing is, even if your leader doesn't go with your solution, the fact that you did the thinking will mean that their view of you, the respect for you, the influence you have in the workplace rises, okay? But I've had some conversations since I posted that on Monday, and some conversations in the workshop today, that I thought I needed to touch on something, because a few people said, oh yeah, I tell my staff all the time, don't come to me with problems, come to me with solutions. Now, the intent behind that is really good. However, framing the statement like that is actually a bit aggressive. And here's the problem with it. If you say to your staff, don't come to me with problems, only come to me with solutions, if your staff have an issue and they don't know how to solve it, they won't raise the issue with you at all, because they think to themselves, well, I do have this issue and I want to raise it with my boss, but I don't know how to fix it. But okay, I only want solutions, not problems, so I'll just leave this. Okay, so a much better thing in this conversation with your staff, if you want to encourage them to do some proactive thinking, is to say to them, you know, if you need to raise an issue with me, absolutely come and have a chat to me about that. But what I always encourage you to do is think through some solutions and options before you come to speak to me, because that way you can have input into the result as well. And it will also mean that we can get a outcome quicker. Because here's the reality. Good leaders, they hire smart people. Okay. Some leaders don't do this. Some leaders micromanage. Okay. I very much get that. But good leaders hire smart people, and their job is to lead. And for the smart people that they hire who specialize in whatever the area is, you want their input. You want their ideas on the best approach. Okay. You don't want it just to be on you as a leader. So do some thinking first to the people, to the staff. Do the thinking about options and solutions, but to the leaders. Be careful in how you frame this to your staff. It might be that you say, think about some options or alternatives rather than solutions, or, try to think of some solutions, and if you can't, come and talk it through with me. Present it in a way that encourages engagement, but not just coming to you with problems all the time. And hopefully that will be the happy middle ground to get you people doing the thinking first and not shutting it down if they don't have a solution. All right, folks. I think that's it from me today, because I can feel my voice starting to scratch up. So I will be around for the next 5 weeks. My wonderful assistant Jen will be on deck helping me out. I will still be doing some social media in my absence from the physical location of work. Not as much. Jen will be holding the fort for me most of the time. I'll still be posting books out. So if you don't have a book already and you would like to get a signed copy of Soft is the New Hard, if you order one in the next 5 weeks, I will pop in a postcard from wherever I am as well. And thanks to Marina at Cytotonic for that great idea. And I'll pop that in the mail. But have fun. Remember, the people bit is the hardest part. And look after each other. Cheers, folks. Have a good one.